Okay, so I'm going to show how to program this little servo retract controller here. What this controls, it's going to be hooked up to the radio here, but what it controls is the retract that's in here. It controls that little lever. You can't see it, but there's a servo actually controlling this retract here. So of course there's end limits that I want to set that servo to so it doesn't bind any of this mechanics here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my radio here. I'm going to use this channel here. I think this is channel 7 on the receiver to control it. So first thing you got to do to program this little controller is when I power it up, there's a little button on the other side over here near the LED, and I just want to make sure that I hold that button in here when I power it up. And when I do that, you should see that LED light up completely here. And we'll give it a second here. See what happens. Hold it in, plug it into channel 7. Okay, and the LED is on, and you can see by turning the knob here, I'm actually controlling the servo of the retract here. But I just want to make sure that it doesn't bind, so I'm going to set this low position first. It's a digital servo, so you hear it humming, but I want it to go down but then not bind, so I'm just going to back off just a little right here. I'm going to come over here, press the little button here. Alright, so that position is saved. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to adjust it so that the gear is all the way up. And again, without binding, there's a little arm here. I just want to make sure that don't get any, you can see it bend there, so I just want to back it off just a little, about there. Come over here, press the button again. And now you can see what it's doing is it's cycling from one endpoint to the other, what I just programmed. You can see if I turn the knob, I could really slow it down. That's the slowest. Then if I go to fastest, that's the fastest. So I'm going to slow it down just a little, and that's probably a decent speed right there. And if you're happy with the speed, come back over here. You tap the little button on the side. Oh, actually you hold it in until it's done cycling, then you let go. Now everything's saved. So now, if I was to use it, you should just see that going to its endpoints. And stop. There you go. Then if you want, you can come over here, plug this into channel 5, which is the real retract channel. And that's all controllable by the switch here. You can see. So it's going to speed and to the end limits, so everything's not binding. I think that's pretty slick. And it's all done by that little circuit. Tiny circuit here. And every time you power it up, it'll just retain those settings. So now I'll be able to use that same channel 5 here for the gear. I'll be able to tap my other landing gear here for my Zero here when I get them in here. I'll just tap right into that same signal, so they'll all go up and down all by themselves. That's it. Hope that helps.